You're listening to User Media. Hello Days of Our Lives friends, welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and give this video a like up. Days of Our Lives is bidding adieu to soap opera icon Bill Hayes as the program reaches a significant milestone. After 59 years, the soap opera will reach the milestone of 15,000 episodes on Monday, December 2. Days of Our Lives pays tribute to the late actor and his decades-long role as Doug Williams in People's exclusive preview of what's to come. It's time to say goodbye. Julie Williams, who is portrayed by Hayes' wife on and off screen as Susan Seaforth Hayes, says as she holds onto a picture of Doug at his memorial. Bill Hayes makes his final appearance on Days of Our Lives, an emotional episode airing 6 months after his death. With Doug's celebration of life comes the return of a few familiar faces. Though Julie acknowledges she's lost the love of my life today, she looks around at the solemn faces who showed up to remember Doug and admits, "But I feel love all around me from all of you." The clip then transitions to an emotional scene of Hope Brady, Christian Alfonso, leaving flowers at Doug's grave. With tears streaming down her eyes, she emotionally admits, "I love you so much." Over the decades, the show proved to be special to Hayes in more ways than one. The late actor met his wife, Seaforth Hayes, on set of the soap and shared their first on-screen kiss in July 1970. Eventually, they became a couple in real life and tied the knot in October 1974. Why Susan Seaforth Hayes found filming late husband Bill's death on Days of Our Lives to be a gift exclusive. In January, a rep for Days of Our Lives confirmed that Hayes died at age 98. 6 months before his passing, the Harvey, Illinois-born talent celebrated his 98th birthday on the set of the Peacock soap opera. Head of the milestone episode, Seaforth Hayes exclusively tells PUPL of how honored she feels to be a part of such an important achievement. This presentation has spanned 54 years of my life. It's a pleasure to be included in the 15,000th episode, she says. Because of Days, I've had a profession, a beautiful marriage, and wonderful interactions with coworkers and admirers from all over the world. Days of Our Lives, Susan Seaforth Hayes opens out about life after losing her husband Bill Hayes. While recording the show was painful for her, Seaforth Hayes spoke openly about how it aided her grief process. "My husband Bill was so universally admired, I never grieved alone. The cast, crew, and producers sustained me," she confessed, adding how the show had been a great family to her. For the farewell episode, my eyes will be glued to the screen expecting a perfect tribute to Bill Hayes and to all the cast we've been privileged to love for 59 years. I would not miss it for the world. Never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what POPLE has to offer, from celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. To the actress, the show's 15,000 episode milestone comes as no surprise. She says the show is beloved for showing the truest of emotions even when the plots seem fantastical. "That's our history and our strength," she explains. "We shoot for the moon 5 days a week and are planning to hit the target for decades more with young cast and mellowed characters too. We plan to please every generation." However, Leo thinks he knows who it is. Kate can't believe this, and on top of the poisoned cupcakes, she wishes she knew who did this. Bonnie thinks she knows, and that it's Hattie Adams. Kate says if Bonnie is right, then she should go to the station with this tip. At the Sound PD, Rafe drops in to see Jada. She's glad he's here and asks if he's changed his mind on quitting. He hasn't and came to drop his badge and gun off. Jada was hoping he'd reconsider after a good night's sleep. Rafe is now sure more than ever. Jada asks why. Rafe says Roman pointed out he could sue Polina for removing him from his job when he was injured in the line of duty. She asks if he'll sue. He doesn't want to cause trouble for any of them, but he can't work for a department that would treat him this way after years of service. Jada points out that they've worked together before, but Rafe says it's different now. Jada thinks this is about his macho pride. He says he was demoted, so how can this not be about his pride? Jada again says she'll leave the job, but he doesn't want her to. She is an amazing cop and a great boss. Jada adds, but you don't want to work for me. Rafe doesn't want to end up silently resenting her. He was also nearly killed in the line of duty for what? To ruin their relationship working under these circumstances. He feels this is a sign to do something else, and she is more important to him than a job. She asks what if she asks him to stay, that she needs him here, would he come back? Paulina arrives, preventing Rafe from answering Jetta. She tells Jetta they have trouble and informs her and Rafi about the tainted cupcakes. She gives them the card that came with the cupcakes, and nobody on the show knows anything about this. Paulina tells Rafe that he needs to get to the hospital and start investigating. Rafe says Jada will have to find someone else, as he's resigning from the Salem PD for personal reasons. He tells Jada that he'll see her at home and departs. Paulina can't believe this. Jada explains Rafi is hurt by the demotion and doesn't want the job to come between them. Paulina didn't want this when she kept Jada as commissioner, but they need to find out who poisoned the cast. Kate arrives and thinks she knows. Kate tells them that it may be Hattie Adams. Jada suggests they wait for the blood test results to make sure it wasn't just food poisoning. Paulina calls Kayla, and she confirms the cupcakes were poisoned, but not enough to cause major harm to anyone. Jada says she'll get her team on it and put an APB out on Hattie. At Gabby Chick, Leo tells Javi he won't get away with this and accuses him of being Lady Whistleblower. Javi has no idea who that is, so Leo explains he believes he is the new gossip columnist in town spoiling his soap. Leo reminds him he found him with his laptop this morning, which he also said held all his storylines. Javi can't believe Leo is accusing him of this, but Leo points out he told him he needed a second job. Javi says, as a bartender, not a gossip columnist. Javi suggests someone in the cast could be doing this, but Leo rants some of the ideas are so new that he just wrote them down. That's how he knows it was Javi. Leo says he actually liked him and thought they had a connection. Javi thought the same, but Leo thinks the only reason Javi went out with him was to take advantage of him. Javi says, you're right, I confess. Javi says he came to town 2 days after his mother died, moved in with his cousin, got a job working as her assistant, all to meet him and become a gossip columnist. Even though his grammar sucks and he failed 12th grade English. But he seduced him, waited for him to get in the shower, and then memorized everything on his laptop. Then, in the 10 minutes since he left his room, he came here and published it all. Javi says the only thing he did was fall for a world-class jerk. Javi can't believe he was fantasizing about having sex with him on this desk right here, but now he wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. He orders Leo to get out. Leo leaves in a huff. Outside the Brady pub, Gabby runs into JJ. She asks how his hand is. He says it's better and thanks her for the ice. She asks if he discovered why EJ dropped the charges against the Abigail imposter. JJ reveals it was because Chad asked him to. She asks him why. JJ reveals Clyde made Chad a deal, one he thinks Chad will regret. JJ fills her in on the trade of Kat for Abigail's remains. However, JJ doesn't believe Chad will hand Kat over, and Kat claims she started to care about Chad and only did what she did to save her mother's life. Gabby wonders if Kat and Clyde could still be working together. JG thinks it's a possibility, and she could be a double agent and plans to deliver Chad right to Clyde. Gabby asks what he'll do. JJ doesn't know and is sorry for dumping this on her. He wants Weston put away and to find Abigail, but Chad could be in over his head. Gabby is worried about him. JG says he's a trained cop and he'll figure it out. He thanks her again for listening. She says if there is anything she can do to help, she's here for him and his family. She says Clyde also ruined her life, so she'd love to repay that. JJ says he'll let her know if there is anything she can do. She wishes him luck. At the Horton house, Kat and Chad pace around when Chad's phone rings, and it's Clyde. He tells Clyde that Kat thinks he forgave her and has no idea he's handing her over to him to get his revenge. Chad tells Clyde he understands and will wait for his next set of instructions. After he gets off the phone, Chad tells Kat that Clyde wants them to check into a hotel, which he'll tell him the location of later as Mr. and Mrs. DeMera. Kat doesn't like this. She's been playing Clyde's game for a long time, so they need to play a game of their own. Kat says if they go to that hotel, they are sitting ducks. However, if they have someone else check in as them, they can wait for Clyde to show up and bust him. Chad asks where they'll find 2 people to be the decoys. Kat suggests her brother would help. Chad refuses to pull more strings to get the guy who tried to kill him set free. Kat asks who they'll use then. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my OMG media to our channel and stay with us.